Sharing our internal struggles with other people can free us from the immense weight of it all. Maybe not completely, but it will make it feel so much less heavy. Be brave! I've got a kind of step-by-step guide on how to open up. Hi everyone, my name's Alessia. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to be giving you some advice on how to open up, how to get vulnerable with your friends so you can establish a deeper connection with the people around you so they can understand you better. I think it's so important that we do get vulnerable with the people around us because it means we can create more satisfying, more fulfilling relationships. And I think that is the key to feeling safe in this quite scary world. So if you want to feel safe, carry on watching. If you like these kinds of videos, this is really my vibe, so please subscribe. So there are countless mental health podcasts, celebrities all over the show kind of talking about their mental health, and it does kind of seem like we're out of the woods, that we can talk about mental health now, the stigma is alleviated, but it's not. There's still a lot of people who are struggling, who are feeling shameful. This is definitely something that men in particular struggle with because of, the stereotypes. Women can be emotional, men can't cry. But also I think a lot of women struggle to open up to their friends too. Many of us aren't willing to chat about our inner demons. What I've noticed is a lot of us are waiting for others to take the plunge and open up, and then we might give a little watered down version of what we're struggling with, but we're not going to the full extent and letting them really in. And I really think if you don't fully let people in, you're not going to get the support that you crave and that you need in order to kind of heal and grow with other people. It's nice growing with other people, not on your own. So let's celebrate this growing culture of acceptance by opening up. So step one is feeling it all. You need to feel it all first in order to kind of really know what's going on in here so you can articulate it to the people around you. You need to kind of sit still in silence, journal, whatever your way of kind of letting your thoughts marinate and become really clear. It really is important to feel every emotion in isolation first. What is it that you're struggling with? What's the crux of the issue? You want to be met with understanding when you do eventually open up to your loved ones, so you really want to make sure you know what's going on so you can help others know what's going on, because the worst thing is opening up and then not receiving the feedback or the understanding that you desired. So make sure you've taken the time to kind of process that internal dialogue before opening up to anyone. This is probably the hardest part for a lot of people, myself included. We kind of want to jump straight to the opening up part and telling someone else and kind of maybe putting our problems on other people and hoping that they will solve them. But they're not going to be able to solve a problem that isn't clear. I know sitting still in silence is scary. We live in a very loud world where we're watching YouTube and listening to music. When we're walking, we're listening to podcasts. We're never quiet. And I actually think we're quite scared of silence now, but it's really valuable. So I've got some journaling prompts that could kind of help you if you do end up journaling to kind of figure out exactly what's going on. I'm worried about ... I'm overwhelmed by ... I'm hurt by, I'm struggling because. If you don't like putting pen to paper, that's fine, go for a walk, pretend you're on the phone to a friend and just talk it through with yourself. You can even use the prompts that I've just listed, pretending to be on the phone, and just get everything out in the open. My next step is who and where. I think opening up to someone that you really trust, that you really have a good connection with, that will meet you with no judgment, but just openness and understanding and curiosity, that's the most important thing. That's the kind of person you want to open up to. So once you know who to talk to, meet them in a safe space. I think environment is key. You can get very thrown off if you're in a loud cafe or you feel like people are listening to you. For me, sometimes sitting directly opposite someone can be so intense and can throw me off because they're literally like looking into my soul. Maybe dilute the situation by going in nature. Nature's beautiful, we can look around, we can go for a walk, maybe get a takeaway coffee. And that means you don't have to have the kind of intense eye contact. You can be looking at nature, which also does have a calming effect. Being around nature will soften the mood. Can I just say, you don't owe anyone an explanation, by the way. If you don't want to open up to a particular person, please don't. If you anticipate that they're going to actually get angry or meet you with quite negative emotions that are going to make you feel bad about opening up, don't go to that person. Maybe you have a best friend who you feel like you have to tell everything to. If you know that they're not going to welcome your openness with anything positive, don't go to them. You do not owe anyone your stories, your struggles, your trauma. Communicate your truth on your account. When you're opening up to someone, you're doing something really amazing for yourself. So make sure you stick to that it's about you and freeing yourself of being on your own in this situation. Don't do it to make someone else feel closer to you. Equally, I also want to say, don't bottle everything up. Don't kind of use this as an excuse to be like, actually, no, I'm not going to open up at all. If you've got someone that you trust and that deep down you feel your gut is telling you, you should tell them this. Please, please do it and be brave. Sharing our internal struggles with other people can free us from the immense weight of it all. Maybe not completely, but it will make it feel so much less heavy. Be brave. Third step, the main event. Okay, so when it comes to telling your story, I encourage you to not put it in a nice little box and wrap it up in a nice little bow. If you've set aside time to do this, make sure that you go into detail, that you explain in full depth, and don't feel guilty for wasting their time or talking too much. If they care about you, they want to know. They want to fully understand this so they can help you. If you've reached out to them, then you believe that they want to help you, I hope. So give them the full detail and don't feel guilty about it, because know that they will then see this as an opening for them to also open up about their issues at a later date if you're brave enough to do it in real depth, and I think it will help strengthen your friendship. I'm saying friendship, you might be opening up to a family member, so yeah, that too. But yeah, please don't worry about inconveniencing people. If they care for you, they have the time. Another thing to bear in mind when you're opening up, you might blurt out something you don't mean because you're kind of panicking because it's such an uncomfortable thing. You're not used to opening up. You might tell a kind of innocent white lie. If this does happen, it will be unintentional. It'll be because you're trying to rush through it, or it'll be because it's just so alien to you. If you do this, you're obviously not going to be thinking rationally, and your subconscious will probably be kind of looking for an escape route. If you say something untrue, just pause, take a moment and be like, I'm so sorry. I actually didn't mean it like that. I meant it like this. Or I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that because that's not true. I'm just kind of freaking out because this is quite scary for me. But what I actually mean is correct yourself and move on. Honesty is the best policy. Another thing to kind of aid you along that opening up process is to use those journal prompts that I mentioned earlier. I know sometimes it's quite hard to kind of start the conversation and you do small talk before. I actually think just get the coffee, start the walk and go straight into it, because otherwise you're just going to work yourself up and get more anxious and more nervous. A kind of side note, if you do have friends but you don't feel like you can open up to them, I'm really sorry to begin with. Maybe that's a sign that they aren't true friends. Maybe that's a sign that you kind of need to maybe have chats with them, maybe spend less time with them or no time with them and cut them out. Maybe it's best that you reach out to people who are more on your wavelength. Reach out to people on social media who kind of match your energy, who you like the looks of, who are posting things that you care about. If you're really, really brave, you could even put a tiny little explanation on an Instagram story, vaguely explaining what you're struggling with. There's a chance you'll reach someone in a similar predicament. However, please reveal with caution, because you might have unexpected viewers. I know this might be also seen as kind of like an attention-seeking thing, but I think that's a load of rubbish. I think a lot of kind of influencing can be deemed as attention-seeking. I'm not going to get into that, but opening up about your internal struggles, in my opinion, is not attention-seeking, it's brave. So that's just a little option I thought I'd mention. Okay, my next step, the aftermath of opening up. You're going to be in your feels. Discomfort, maybe guilt, maybe you're going to be doubting whether they want to be friends with you anymore. You might be filled with regret after the conversation. If you struggle to open up historically, you've probably kind of formed unhealthy habits, telling yourself off for being vulnerable. This is probably rooted in like kind of bad experiences when you were younger, maybe when you were a child, or maybe at school with past friends. What I want you to do is when those kind of reoccurring negative statements come up, I want you to kind of flip them on their head and try and turn them into a positive. You don't have to accept every thought that kind of crops up. Thoughts come and go like clouds. The sun can come out again, and you can bring the sun out by focusing on some of the good things that are coming out of the situation. For example, instead of insisting opening up was a bad idea, repeat softly with an internal whisper, I'm proud of myself. I own my truth. I've got some other positive kind of statements or affirmations that you can repeat. I'm worthy of love. I release the fear inside me. I'm open and honest. I'm surrounded by caring people. I am brave. Sometimes your mind might be too loud for affirmations. You might be too anxious in kind of flight or fight mode to really tune into the positivity and the gratitude. Maybe try meditating or just try distraction. Two very different suggestions, but both should help in different ways. Meditation is about kind of sitting with everything, observing your mind, being aware in your body, kind of separating yourself from this stream of consciousness, the stream of thoughts, realizing that you aren't your thoughts. Meditating is, in my opinion, more of a long-term solution, something that is really worthwhile doing, whilst a distraction is a short-term solution. Arguably, it is the kind of easier option of the two. But as I said, it's a short-term solution, and kind of future you will thank you for doing something like meditation. But it's down to you to decide what will work in the moment. Maybe you really are just completely a wreck and you just need a distraction, and then maybe you can try meditating later. If you are still game to open up, I'm proud of you and you can do this. Discussing what's going on internally, our mental health, is vital if you want to think rationally, maintain quality friendships, and feel better about yourself. Be bold enough to share your fears with someone. Get it out of that busy mind of yours, because it always feels a lot worse when it's kept up in here. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, share and comment. I really hope this helped you. Let me know how it goes if you fancy sharing in the comments section below. Bye!